Hey everyone, welcome back to the second part of the tic-tac-toe game, in which we will see how to make a real-time game of tic-tac-toe with the help of Socketio. So we have already seen the first part, in which we have managed to connect two players together, and in this part we will see how we can let the two players play together. Okay, so we will write the code so that the two players can play together. So let me show you how far we get in the last video. So in the last video we write the code for to connect the two players. So if I just write username in this one and search for a player, and I will write user2 in this one and search for a player, and you can see now the two players are connected and they can play together, but they cannot play together until now because we haven't write any code yet. So let's do that in the VS Code. Alright, so first of all I will write the code whenever someone click on a button. So what button? This one. Okay, so like among these 9 buttons, whenever someone will click any of these 9 buttons, a function will be targeted. So I will write here document dot get, not get, I will write query selector all, and in this I will write .btn because we have given the class btn, and for each, and this will be an arrow function, and then I will write e.add event listener, and inside this I will write click. So whenever someone will click on any of the buttons here, this function will targeted here, and I will create a new variable called value, and this will be equal to like x or o. So I will write here document dot get element by id value here and dot inner text. So this will just get the value of whether the player is playing as x or o. Alright, then I will write here e dot inner text here is equal to value. Okay, then after here I will emit the Socketio. Okay, so I will emit the Socketio with some values. So I will write here socket dot emit, and then I will name this emit as playing because now we are playing together. So I will name this playing, and then I will pass some values here. The first one will be value and value like this, and then we will pass the id. So I will, in the id I will write e.id. So what it will do, it will get the id of that button. So for example, if I just press the first button, it will get the id of first button, which is btn1, and pass that btn1 to the backend, okay, with the help of Socketio. Then one more value I will pass here, which is name, and the name will be equal to name here. As you can see here, I have created a global variable called name. Alright, and that's it for the button part. We are done here. Let's save it, and now we will go to the index.js. Alright, and I will come right here, and now I will grab that values. Okay, so I will write socket dot on because the on function is used to get the value. I will write here playing, so you have to write the same name, and then it will be an arrow function right here, and I will write some if else statement. So if e dot value is equal to x, okay, so if the player is playing as x, what we will do, we will create a new object, let's say obj to change. Okay, I have write and like any random name, you can write anything here. Then this will be equal to playing array. Okay, so yeah, playing array dot find, and this will find the object of the name. Okay, so I will just explain a little bit later. I will write here object, and then I will write here obj dot p1 name, And why I have written here P1? Because by default the player who is playing as X, that will be P1 only. As you can see here, the P1 value is always X. Okay, so that's why I have written here P1. And I will also write if this is equal to e dot name. Okay, so this function will find in all the arrays and find that object of the player. Okay, then what I will do, I will target that obj to change here, and I will change something. I will write move, because it is P1, so I will change the P1 move, and this will be equal to e dot id. That's it. And one more thing I will change. Oops. Okay, not this, e dot id here. All right, and I will write obj to change one more time, and I will create a new variable called sum. So let me just create here. So this sum will tell whose turn it will be. So I will create a sum value, and by default the value of this will be 1. Okay, so by default the value of this will be 1. Now what I will do, I will increase that sum by 1. Okay, every time someone will click the button. So what I will write this, or you can just write this here. Okay, so yeah, so I think now we are done, not done, we are like we have completed for P1 player. I will just copy this down here and write the same for O. So if the player is playing as O, I will just change the P1 to P2 in everything. So here P2, P2, and that's it. Okay, so the socket.on code is also done, and now we have to write one more line here, which is emit. So we'll write here emit, because we have to give the code also. So we'll write here playing. All right, and then I will pass the array. So we'll write playing array. That's it. Let's save it. And after emitting this array here, we have to get this array in our JavaScript here in the HTML part. So let's all right. So to get that value from the backend, I will write socket.on, because on is used to get the value. I will write the same name here. Okay, so make sure to write the same name, and I will write an arrow function e. Then I will create a few variables here, and I will copy this one. Okay, so if you haven't, like if you have seen the first part, these values we have created. Okay, so make sure to see the first part, and I will change something here. What I will change, instead of this one, I will write e dot all players. Okay, because we are getting the array from here, so we will write e dot all players, and then everything, I think everything will be same here, and I will just remove these two lines here. Okay, we don't need this one, and in this way this found object will be equal to that object of the two players. Okay, so this will be equal to the object of two players who are playing together. Then I will write p1.id, or not p1.id, p1id, it is a variable. Okay, nothing else, and I will use the found object, and I will write p1.p1 move. Copy this down here, do the same for p2. Okay, p2, that's it. And now what I will do, I will create some if else statement. So if found object dot sum. Okay, so if found object dot sum is divisible by 2. All right, so if the remainder is 0, which means it is divisible by 2, which means it is even. So if the found object dot sum is even, what we will do, we will change the turn like the turn, this one here, where it is. So yeah, we will change the turn tag to O's. So whenever the sum is even, it will be O's turn, and if it is odd, then it will be X turn. So that's what I am doing here. So if it is even, I will change, I will write document dot get element by ID, and I will write whose turn here dot inner text, and I will write here O's turn. Okay, and I will copy this down here and write the same. Let's just write else here, and I will write X turn. That's it. So if it is odd, it will be X turn. And now I will write one more if else statement. So if P1 ID is not equal to empty. Okay, so if P1 ID is something, which means it is not equal to empty here, I will write document dot get element by ID, and there will be backticks here to write a variable. I will write P1 ID because we will then grab that ID here, and then I will change the inner text to X. Okay, so what we are doing here, like whenever someone will click on any button here, okay, so if in this case if user 1 click on this one, it will change the value for it will change the value for this one also. So we are doing exactly that here. So I hope you get my point. And not only that, I will target, so I will also disable the button also. Okay, so whenever someone will click on a button, then automatically it will be disabled, so he or she cannot like press it again. Then one more thing here, I will write style dot color, and this will be a black, and I will do the same for P2 ID. So if P2 ID is empty, then I will do the same for P2. Okay, P2 here, that's it. And all that, so let's save it and see if it is working. So I hope it is working, it will work now. So let's see, I will refresh the page and this one also, and let's write here user 1 search for a player, and here user 2 search for a player. All right, so everything is fine till now. Let's click on a button and see if this change also. So I will click here, and yep, as you can see, whenever I click on this one, this value is also changing. So this is exactly what we want. And let's see one more. So if I just click here, so yep, as you can see here, this is also changing. And one thing you will notice, this is not O. So we need to see this, what is happening here. Let's see one more time. So now it is saying O's turn, and if I just click here, all right, so O is not appearing. All right, so let's see what is the problem here. All right guys, so the problem was we have to change this value to O. Okay, so we forgot to do that. Now it will work fine. So let's test it. User 1 here search for a player, user 2 here search for a player, and now let's click here. So as you can see, it is changing, and this will also change. Okay, so it is now O's turn. So yep, as you can see here, this is also changing. Now it is X turn, and now O's. So yeah, this is working great. And now the only thing left is to like check for the winner. So whenever someone will win, we will alert them and refresh the page. So let's do that. So for checking the winner here, I will make a function called check. So I will write here function check, and this will take two arguments. First one is name, second one is sum. And this check function will take two arguments, and I will write the check function here. All right, and pass the two arguments here, and I will write here name, and for the sum here, I can easily write found object dot sum, because this will contain the sum. And why I'm writing check here, because this will make sure whenever someone will click, okay, so whenever someone will click the button, then only it will check for the winner. So I hope you get my point here. And inside, let's write some code inside the check function. So first of all, I have to write, like I have to change the value of the inner text of all buttons. Alright, so let me just do that real quick. So I have changed all the inner text of all the buttons right here. As you can see, for the btn1, if the btn1 is empty, we will write here, we will create a variable called b1, and this will be equal to a. And if it is not empty, then this will be just equal to that inner text. So why we will doing this? It is due to the checking of the winner. So you will see later why we have changed the value of all the inner text of all buttons. Alright, so let me just come down here, and now we will write the if statement for checking the winner. So I will write here, as you can see, we have created the variables, 9 variables. So what I can do, I will create, let's say I will write here b1 equal to b2 and b2 equal to b3. So in this way, if let's say, so let me just show you here. Alright, so this one is b1, this one is b2, and this one is b3. So if these all, if the value of these all will be same, so we can say someone is winner. Okay, so we can easily say if this all 3 values are same, then someone is the winner, and we can alert the user that he or she wins. Okay, so and I will do the same thing for all the conditions here. Okay, so this b1, b2, b3 is for the first row only. We have to give the condition for this row, this row, this row, and the diagonals also. So let me just do that quickly. So I have written the conditions for all the cases here. As you can see here, b1 is equal to b2 and b2 is equal to b3. So this is for the first row right here, and let me show you. So this b4, b5, b6, and this is and this will be for this second row, and same goes for this one. This will be third row, and this will be the first column here. This will be the second column, this is the third column, and this right here, it is the first diagonal, then it is the second diagonal. So I hope you understand my point. This is how we will check if someone is winning or not. And in this if statement, we will emit something. So we will write emit, because in order to get the winner, we also have to tell the backend that someone has won. So I'll write game over, and this is due to whenever someone will win, we will delete that array of those players from the original playing array. Alright, so I will write here name is equal to name, and we will write we will get this game over in the index.js later on, not now. Alright. Okay, so now I will write here set timeout, and inside this set timeout here, this will be an arrow function right here, and this will be 100 milliseconds. Okay, then I will write here sum divided by not divided by 2, if the remainder of, if the sum is even. Okay, so this is the statement to write that if the sum is even, I will alert the player so that X is won. Okay, so if the sum is even and someone is winner, so that means X won. Okay, so very simple, and I will copy this alert. And if it is not the case, and if the sum is even and someone won, sorry, if the sum is odd and someone won, that means the O is the winner and not X. And after that alert, I will just write another set timeout here, and this will be after 2 seconds. And okay, so after 2 seconds, the page will be reloaded. So I will write here location dot reload, very simple. And instead of this reload, you can add like game over button and start again button also, but we will be keeping it very simple. We will just reload the page automatically whenever someone will win. So after this if statement, I will write another else if statement here. Alright, so I will write here else if statement to like get the case of draw. Okay, so in this tic-tac-toe, it is never sure if someone will win or not. So like the two players can tie also. So how to get that tie condition? We will write if sum is equal to 10. Alright, so what does it mean? Because there are 9 boxes, there are 9 buttons, and initial value of sum was 1. So after all the boxes, after all the buttons, the value of sum will be 10. So if the value of sum is 10 and no one won, then what we will do, we will give the same condition here. So I will just copy this one and I will paste it here and format document, and instead of this right here, okay, so I will remove this and I will alert that it is a draw. So I will write here draw. Okay, so that's it. I think we are done with the index.html part here. Let's see if it works or not. So let's see. So that's it. I will write a user3 search for player, user4 search for player. Alright, so everything is fine till now. Let's play together now. So X, then let's say O, X, O, and let's see if it is the winner condition is working or not. So I will click X here. So yep, as you can see, X won. Okay, and in both the tabs the alert is there, and after 2 seconds the page is reloaded. So that's great. Now we have completed the tic-tac-toe. The only thing left is one thing, which is to delete the array. Alright, so now we will come in the index.js part, and I will write socket.on to get the game over function here. So I will write game over, and in this function we will delete that array. Okay, so if the game is over, that means the two player has the game of the two players is now over, and then we will delete the array for those two players of the two players. Okay, so I will write here playing array is equal to playing array dot filter. So this filter function will automatically delete. Okay, so will automatically delete that object which contains the name of the player. So I will write here, I can easily write object is equal to object dot p1 name here, and this will be not equal to e dot name. So what is happening here, this filter function will go through all the objects in playing array and filter out all the objects which does not contain this name, and the object which contain this name will be automatically deleted. I will just console log here to show you what I mean, and you will get the point very easily. And I will console log here, and also let's say console log here. Alright, okay, let's just restart the server here real quick. I'll write nodemon index here. Alright, let's see now. And alright, so let's see what I was telling you. So I will just quickly write here user1 and user2. Alright, user2, and as you can see here, whenever the two players will connect, it will console log this array. So you can see in this array there are a single object. Okay, and in this object two players are here, user1 and user2. Okay, so this array contains only one element now. Now let's do one more time here. I will write user3 search for player, and user 4 search for a player. Now if I just look on the console, you can see now there are two elements. Okay, so you can see right here there are two elements. The first one is user 1 and user 2, and the second one is user 3 and user 4. But this is not the part I want to show you. Let's just win a game, and after winning a game it should delete that user. So let's just win. So O here, X here, O here, and let's win quickly. So yep, as you can see X won and the page reloads. Okay, so page reloads, and now in the console here, in the VS Code here, you can see in the VS Code it gives the array of this one. So you can see firstly there are two, oops, so okay, so firstly there were two elements, user 1 user 2 and user 3 user 4, but after winning the game there is only one element, user 3 and user 4. So that means the deleting part is also working, and after this one we have successfully make a tic-tac-toe game in real time with the help of Socketio. So I hope you learned something new in this video, and make sure to watch the part 1 also to get a more knowledge about this game, and the source code of this game will be available in the description. You can check it from there. So that's it for this video guys. I will see you in the next one.